Words an American would get wrong on a spelling test in Britain.
This video was suggested by our good friend Georgianna, who is indeed an American. You may recall seeing her and her husband Terry on our channel before. We've interviewed them about visiting and living in the UK.
Georgianna reads a lot of books. Some of them are by British authors. She's given us a wonderful list of British words that an American would get wrong on a spelling test.
Let's get the ball rolling. Synesthesia.
Georgianna is a retired educational psychologist, in case you didn't know. By the way, synesthesia is a perceptual phenomenon in which stimulation of one sensory or cognitive pathway leads to an involuntary experience in a second sensory or cognitive pathway.
So not your everyday word, but one that follows a particular rule. We'll reveal the British spelling of that word towards the end.
A basic rule of thumb for these words is that American spelling tends to be simplified and pronunciation-based, whereas British English favours the spelling of words as they appeared in the original language that they were borrowed from.
Here are some words that Georgianna came across when reading her latest book. Behaviour, colour, humour, labour, neighbour, flavour, splendour, odour, favourite. Name that book.
How do Brits spell these? In British English, the preferred ending of these words is OUR, but in American English, the U is dropped.
The English spelling system developed over the centuries. The differences came about due to invaders and writers trying to fit their alphabet and sounds into English.
English developed from the Anglo-Saxons and Vikings from northern Germany and Scandinavia.
English has an alphabetic writing system based on the Roman alphabet. This was brought to Anglo-Saxon England by missionaries and church officials in the 600s.
The French invaded in 1066, and their scribes caused most of the problems with the spelling by changing the phonetic Anglo-Saxon spelling into one that they understood.
Then in the 1400s, the printers with their new printing presses changed words and spelt them how they wanted.
By the 16th century, English academics decided to make spelling more like its Latin roots and added all sorts of silent letters into words.
Like knife, fight, palm, rough, daughter.
A large percentage of English words have silent letters in them.
These are all Viking, Old Norse words. Knock, knee, gnaw, gnat. The K and the G were then pronounced. Let's try some more American spellings. Centre, fibre, theatre.
We swap the E and R around.
How do the Brits spell these American words? Defense, license, offense, pretense.
Some nouns that end with ENSE in American English are spelled or spelt ENCE in British English.
The spelling of these English words was cemented by Samuel Jackson.
Johnson.
Oh,
Samuel Jackson is someone else.
I have a horrible feeling you're going to watch that blooper. The spelling of these British English words was cemented by Samuel Johnson in what is considered to be one of the most famous dictionaries in the world. It took him and 6 helpers just over 8 years to curate, just over 8 years to curate the curate. It took just over 8 years to create the 40,000 words. It took him and
6 helpers?
yeah. I can't believe it, the brain has died. Okay.
Going to sleep over here, I keep yawning.
I'm not surprised, I'm quite bored myself. Right, let me just look at it one more
It took
time.
Julie just over 8 years to say the 12 words in this sentence.
Oh my god.
ran down my face.
There's a little wet patch. Oh, get grip. God, this stuff.
Perhaps we should get a tissue.
Yeah. And this is one of the simplest lines of the whole thing. It took him and 6 helpers over 8 years to curate the 40,000 words that appeared in it. It was named a Dictionary of the English Language and was published in 1755. Let's go back to the spelling test. Travelling, travelled, traveller.
Americans have dropped the double L when adding suffixes to verbs that end in L. The British still generally use the 2L approach. English was introduced to modern-day America by the English settlers in the 17th century. Since then, the language has evolved and has been influenced by the many waves of immigration to the USA.
In 1806, Noah Webster compiled a compendious dictionary of the English language. This popularized the American English spellings that were being used over the British English spellings.
He followed up the original dictionary in 1828 with his An American Dictionary of the English Language. This had over 70,000 words.
Let's use some of these American words. Apologize, organize, recognize.
Apologize, organize, recognize.
I'm going to insist that our editor keeps that in, that wonderful, wonderful accent.
I quite like organize.
Organize.
Organize. American English uses the I, Z or Z, E spelling at the end of words. And while some people in Britain accept that as a valid spelling, you'll usually see those same words spelled with the ISE ending instead.
The following American words are usually spelt this way, but can also be spelt the British way. Analog, dialogue, catalogue.
Some nouns that end with OGUE in British English end with either OG or OGUE in American English.
So let's go back to Georgiana's first word, synesthesia. You should have had long enough to ponder the British spelling of this one.
British English words that are spelt with the double vowels, AE or OE, tend to be just spelled with an E in American English. Of course, thanks to the influence of international media and the internet, the lines are becoming increasingly blurred for many. In fact, you could argue that both varieties of English are being overtaken by text speak, which has no boundaries.
Thank you very much, Georgiana, for suggesting this video and the title, and for giving us some great spellings to think about.
If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a like, leave a comment below, and consider subscribing to our channel.
Thank you so much for watching. See you soon.
Bye!